Welcome to Translogic. I'm Jonathan Buckley. Action sports have gained massive popularity all over the world. Things like motocross and snowboarding to downhill mountain biking are enjoyed by millions. But there's a certain segment of the population, specifically amputees, that have a harder time enjoying these activities. And that's why, after experiencing some hardship himself, pro athlete Monster Mike Schultz developed this guy, the Moto Knee. Extreme athlete for the past, what, 10?
Yeah, a long time. My true professional career started in about 2003, racing snowmobiles. It was my focal point from the late 90s up until 2008 when my injury happened. It was during a qualifying race, first one of the weekend, and I was charging, trying to make a pass, and the sled just kind of got out of shape, started swapping. It kind of more or less bucked me off to the side, and all my weight landed on my left leg while my knee was in full extension, and it just hyperextended it, and just, you know, I've had many broken bones, and I can always put it back together. Yeah. And yeah, unfortunately this time we had to take the next step and amputate it.
At what point did you go, I'm gonna ride again, I'm gonna do something different, I gotta get out of the doldrums, you know?
My background with the racing is I was always really into the suspension component, and I looked at my leg as a suspension component. I mean, I want to absorb shock so I can jump my dirt bike and snowmobile again. And what really motivated me to take that step was learning of the adaptive motocross at X Games. And I got wind of it, I'm like, that's my goal, that's what I'm setting my sights on. The biggest thing is I need to be able to stand up on the dirt bike so I can hit the jumps and absorb the impacts and yet sit down and rail the corners and all that. And so what this knee system allowed me to do was stand up with balanced weight. I wanted to use this Fox mountain bike shock, fits right in the knee space. So what I had to come up with was a linkage system to get the full range of motion out of the knee joint, which is around 130 degrees, so I can sit down on the bike and it doesn't bind, and yet I can stand up. And I need resistance and dampening through that whole range of motion. And we got it all together, and yeah, 10 steps over the dirt bike, went for a ride down the ditch. And
it worked straight away?
It worked right away.
Like you saw then that you were onto something. Now it's just tweaking the details.
Exactly.
You've gone through a few different iterations until we finally arrived at the Moto Knee.
Functionally, it's really similar to the very first prototype. Looks way cooler, it's a lighter weight. So the individual will have the socket set up already, and then all of our equipment just bolts onto it with universal adapters. Now I use it for dirt bikes and snowmobiles, mountain biking and road biking, downhill skiing, snowboarding, just all kinds of things. And it's really neat. I've got a bunch of guys on the US Para Snowboard team using it, which I'm on the US team myself.
In fact, we've got a guy coming out here to visit us today, Dylan, who's using your product as well. It was only maybe 4 or 5 months ago, everything in your world was just kind of coasting along like normal. I mean, you had a great job, you were doing amazing things, riding motocross, but then you had a really serious accident.
I was coming home from work, apparently fell asleep at the wheel, and woke up in the hospital with my leg cut off.
At what point did you decide, right, I've got to figure this out, I want to get back on my bike?
Honestly, it was like the day after I woke up, my brother and my best friend, he showed me videos of Mike, and we're like, he made a motocross leg, and you can ride your dirt bike with it.
Wow.
So it was like 3 days after my accident, and I was already, you know, looking forward to getting back on my bike.
Well, you've been hard at work building a motocross track out the back.
Yes.
I'm going to be honest, I haven't thrown my leg over a dirt bike in about 10 years, so I might be Captain Slow today, but I'm going to do my best to keep up with you guys.
Oh, perfect. I'm looking forward to it. We got a perfect bike for you.
All right. So we're all kitted up. I've got myself a shiny new outfit. We've got Dylan on the RMZ 250, very nice. Mike's on the big boy, the Honda.
Yeah, I got the Honda CRF 450.
Nice. What am I going to be riding today?
And you, since it's been a while, we figured we ease into it, so we're hooking you up with my wife's 125.
This thing? Come on,
yeah,
guys.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. we were just messing around. They let me graduate to a 450. But these things are intimidating to say the least.
One of the toughest things is these tight left-hand corners. Since I can't put my leg down to brace my fall and balance, I was ready to give up on it because I kept falling over on these left-hand corners and ruts, but just keep at it and get it figured out.
So because it's his left leg, if you're a motorcyclist, you'll know that's the foot that you change gears with. So they've come up with quite a novel way of doing this. They've employed an electric shifter, which you control with your left hand.
I mean, it must be the learning curve. I mean, there's so many different things to take into account. How was the learning curve?
The learning curve was pretty steep, a little bit tough to get used to, but it was just wonderful. I remember the very first time I was able to like actually stand up on the pegs. Like it took a while to get comfortable with that. It was just the most amazing feeling.
Watching and talking to Mike, he was telling me and trying to teach me on a lot of these left-hand corners, it's better if you stand up. Because when you're on a motocross track and there's deep ruts, you can risk having your foot drag along the ground. Nothing like a little left-hand corner fall.
So you've already got your second product out as well, the VersaFoot. What's this one aimed at?
This one was designed for snowmobiles originally, and standing up and squatting and hitting the big jumps and bumps. I needed the foot to flex. What's kind of neat about it is it has interchangeable sole plates, so you can put a boot sole or a shoe sole on the bottom, or you can put a foam sole and wear it inside of a shoe like a normal foot.
There is absolutely no way I'm going to catch up to these guys. There's just no way. They are too quick.
Do you think that there'd be any point where maybe the Moto Knee could spell an advantage?
We could make the limb excel at a specific movement, but to make an overall prosthetic limb better than your natural anatomy, no way. Right. Keep your real stuff if you can.
If I can.
Here we go, tabletop and... Oh, that's awesome.
The knee's around 6,000 and the foot's a little over 2,000. So, you know, for the price of a dirt bike. You can be out riding, you can be out snowboarding, skiing and all this. And it lasts a long time. It's tough stuff. It's built as a secondary prosthesis. Like for example, I've got an everyday prosthetic leg. It's a microprocessor, has a computer in it, and works phenomenal for walking around. But the minute you use it for something high impact, you're gonna destroy it.
Just yet, I'm still learning my leg. It's just great to be able to be out with the guys and just be able to do dirt bike things, you know?
When I look at Dylan, his accident was 4 months ago. To be out here at all, let alone riding circles around me on a motocross track, it's one of the most demanding things you can do physically. And do it so well. I'm not just saying this because we're making a show or whatever. I'm genuinely impressed. So with the creation of the Moto Knee, it looks like Mike Schultz has given amputees back what many thought they'd lost forever, the ability to compete in action sports and a whole bunch of other activities. And seeing Dylan out here today riding as well as he is so soon after that accident, well, I think that's evidence of just how effective this product really is. For Translogic, I'm Jonathan Buckley. We'll catch you next time.